Call of Duty points are now in Infinite Warfare. If you want the best way to get free Call of Duty points, click the link down in the description, install the app, and start getting yourself some free Call of Duty points today. Yo, what is up guys? It's the Goblin, and welcome back to another Call of Duty video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about Call of Duty as a franchise, some of the sales numbers and stuff like that, and basically the fact that Call of Duty is a really high selling game. Even on a down year like Infinite Warfare, it still is by far the most sold console game. And I have a bunch of stats, a bunch of sources and stuff like that, which we're going to talk to about today. But basically, first of all, I'd appreciate if you guys could drop some likes on this video. That would be absolutely awesome. If you could hit 2,000 likes, of course, that is the like goal, and that would be absolutely crazy if you could hit that. Also subscribe to the channel if you guys are new to it, and let's get right into it. So basically, Call of Duty is a franchise that everyone loves. It's one of the most popular console games out there. Obviously, if you're watching my channel, you probably like Call of Duty. And recently, there's been a trend of people hating on Call of Duty, hating on Infinite Warfare, hating on the futuristic system, and hating on the supply drops, which part of it I do agree with. I do not like the futuristic theme. I mean, I like it a little bit, but 3 years in a row definitely needs to change, as well as supply drops. There's some positives to them, some negatives to them, but the trend has really been for everyone to hate on Call of Duty, talk about Call of Duty dying, Call of Duty sucks and stuff like that, when in the reality, everyone is still buying the game and still playing the game, and that just comes in with the straight up facts from this site. So I basically have a bunch of different sites here. I did a little bit of research of this on different years on console sales from different games, and basically Call of Duty retails the #1 grossing console franchise in the US for the 8th consecutive year, and the boldly innovative Infinite Warfare is the #1 grossing console game of the year at retail in the US, said Eric Hirschberg, Activision CEO. So obviously he's saying Infinite Warfare is, super innovative, boldly innovative, all that sort of stuff, which, that is up for debate. But the fact is basically that Call of Duty has been the best-selling game for 8 years in a row on consoles in the United States, and Call of Duty is pretty much by far the most successful console game, and part of the reason for that is because it doesn't really have that much competition. But for example, I will show you guys the full report right now from the NPD group, which basically goes into marketing and looks up different sales numbers, different hardwares on everything, PS4, Xbox, PC, all that sort of stuff. And as far as the top 10 best-selling games in the US, Call of Duty retained its #1 spot basically for this year, and what it was Call of Duty Infinite Warfare was #1, and then I'll put a list up on the screen. You guys can see right here: Battlefield 1, Pokemon Sun and Moon, Titanfall, NBA, Madden, Watch Dogs, Elder Scrolls, and FIFA, which this list does stay pretty consistent throughout the years. I did a little bit more research, and we can see right here I have the one for 2015 and the best-selling games. I'll throw that up on the screen as well. Black Ops 3 was #1, and then Madden, Fallout, Star Wars Battlefront, which is actually a pretty good game. I do like that game. And then of course you have the the similar trend, and that was for 2015. And then of course for 2014 it was similar as well. There was Advanced Warfare being #1, and then you had Madden, which was #2 again, and a bunch of different games top selling. Even Super Smash Bros made its way, and Minecraft made its way into there as the top selling console games for that year. Now, on PC, there's a lot of games that are more popular than Call of Duty. Some of the most popular video games in the world right now are League of Legends, Dota 2, CSGO. Those games are really popular. But as far as the console thing, and as far as shooter games, I guess CSGO you could put in a similar category to Call of Duty, but because it is a first-person shooter. But Call of Duty does remain the #1 spot on console, and that's basically something that people will argue and say. I saw when Charlie Intel tweeted out this info, a lot of people were hating on it, and I do understand the hate on Call of Duty and on the futuristic thing. And I, by all means, am not someone that loves every single move Call of Duty makes. A lot of the moves they make, I find are I really don't like. For example, one thing they just did was that for MLG and Activision and MLG, they work together and they work on the Pro CWL, the COD World League, and the MLG events for the pro scene. And basically, of course, everyone knows that, if you guys don't know, basically live streaming on esports and for video games, the most popular place to live stream is Twitch. Usually when I do my live streams, I do them on YouTube, and that's because I already have a big following on YouTube. I have over 500,000 subscribers, which thank you guys for all the support and all that sort of stuff. But Twitch is the main site for streaming. YouTube is the main site for video content, and YouTube also is very good for streaming as well. But basically, MLG and Activision decided for this year, they had, for example, right now, this weekend, an event called MLG Vegas is taking place, and that has Overwatch, and it also has Call of Duty tournament, right, Infinite Warfare. And basically, they decided they're only going to stream that on MLG and on YouTube and not stream it on Twitch at all, which really does suck, because I mean, obviously these guys make billions of dollars at Activision and MLG combined. They obviously have a reason for doing this, but it seems like the reasoning is just 100% to make money. And it seems like Call of Duty esports, and of course I'm a big fan of Call of Duty, I want the game to grow, and it seems like following in the footsteps of all of the most successful games would be the way to grow Call of Duty, and that would be streaming these events on Twitch, using the esports events as not necessarily a way to generate so much revenue, but using these esports events as something to promote the game and make people, you know, get interested in the competitive scene of it, get interested in the game, and then of course people would end up buying the games and buying supply drops and making money on all that sort of stuff. But like I said, the point of this video is, as far as console games, Call of Duty does remain on top, but console games are sort of, I don't know if they're actually on a decline, but it seems like the more popular trend for super popular video games is games that are going to be available free or for a cheaper price. If we look at a lot of the popular games right now, League of Legends is a great game. I absolutely love League of Legends. I got addicted to it about two and a half years ago or something like that, and I would literally just play it all day. I'm a gold 1 in League of Legends, and basically that game is free to play, and then they sell skins and make money off that. CSGO is another great game I like. That game costs like 10 or 20 bucks depending on where you buy it at, and of course then they also you know, sell the skins and sell crates and stuff like that. But as far as it goes with that, I think that Call of Duty, and I've said this before, the future of Call of Duty, of course Call of Duty can stay where it's at, and because it doesn't really have that much competition on the console, of course the closest games to it were Pokemon, which isn't really a competitor, and then Titanfall and Battlefield 1, which are both good shooter games as well, but they're a completely different style and probably a bit of a different audience, Battlefield 1 and Titanfall 2, than Call of Duty. I really do like Battlefield. I haven't played Titanfall that much. I used to play Battlefield a lot back in the day, but of course it fits for a different audience. And like I said, with this, Call of Duty is going to remain #1 even when their sales are down a little bit, even on bad years. And this is #1 on just the game sales. This isn't even adding up their basically supply drop stuff and all that sort of things. So that is absolutely huge. But I think if Call of Duty definitely wants to grow as an esport and grow as a game, I think the way to do it would be to take this the trend that all these more popular games are doing, and this is what I've talked about before, and basically would be selling the game for cheaper, or doing things to, you know, putting more into promoting the game, getting people to get on the game and get hooked with it, and then of course, you know, giving out these skins or stuff like that. And one idea I came up with is basically, what if they made Call of Duty cost maybe $20, but then you had literally only like 2 or 3 camos, and if you want more camos you had to buy them. There's just a ton of different opportunities there for Call of Duty, and I think that Call of Duty, of course, they're super happy with their billion-dollar profit, and that's why they don't really focus too much on innovating and just basically doing the same thing over and over. Of course, their boldest innovation was adding supply drops and doing the futuristic movement 3 years in a row. But I, of course, love Call of Duty. I think Infinite Warfare is a good game, and a lot of people like to hate on it, but the people who actually play the game know that the gameplay of Infinite Warfare isn't even that bad. It is pretty bad that they don't have leaderboards and that they don't have combat records, which where the heck are those? They promised some December updates, which we have gotten a lot of December updates, a ton of them, and some good updates to the game, some good updates to DLC and stuff like that, but we still haven't gotten leaderboards and combat record, and I can't really figure out why they're leaving that out. Leaderboards, personally, I don't really care that much about, because I play the game a lot, I'm pretty high prestige, but it's not like I'm going to be #1 on the leaderboards, you know, so that doesn't really matter to me. But combat record I really do like, and the thing that it feels like Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered is more of a complete game with the menu screen and the leaderboards and the 72 camos and stuff like that than Infinite Warfare is. However, I really do like the gameplay aspect of Infinite Warfare. Another thing is with this tactical TDM game mode, this thing, they said it's only going to be out until Monday, and I didn't realize that when I was praising it before, which if they take away this game mode, mode, I'm definitely gonna have to make a video on that, because that would piss me off a lot. This game mode is really good, and if they did all the work to make this game mode, create it, add the flinches, change the damage to headshots and stuff like that, how the gun works, I think that definitely they should leave this, or Infinity Ward and Activision should leave this tactical TDM game mode in the game, because that game mode is pretty fun. Anyway, that's it for today's video, just talking a little bit about the Call of Duty franchise, sales numbers and stuff like that. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate if you guys could drop a like on this thing. 2,000 likes would be awesome. Subscribe for Cookie and Don't Looky, and I'm out. Peace.